Hey, Econ students, we have 1 week left, so I'm Dr. Summers, and believe me, I'm coming to terms with it too. I was down in Ocean City last week. It was just glorious weather. So yes, I am also realizing that we have class next week. If you read my rather long email last week, it was about 10 days ago, you already know that I've been thinking about this semester for quite some time, and you know that I'm not expecting you to study ahead of class. What I do want you to do is arrive understanding what type of course you signed up for. This video is pretty much the shorter, more human version of the syllabus that I attached and that email. And if you didn't get that email, please let me know, as I know we had a little bit of a change in enrollment since my last note. So why am I doing this video? Why am I spending all this time before I'm even getting paid to be focusing on your class? Every semester I ask students what they wish they knew earlier in this microeconomics class. And successful students consistently say that the course became much easier once they understood the rhythm. And I've worked on making it more of a pattern throughout the semester, so each week kind of feels the same pattern, different material. Students who struggled often waited too long to figure that rhythm out. So what I would rather do is tell you up front. So what this course is, it's challenging. Economics is not easy, but it's not designed to be miserable or dismal, as some of you know that economics is referred to as the dismal science. We're going to talk about things you actually encounter and hopefully care about: prices, incentives, shortages, choices, businesses, college, jobs, and definitely consumer behavior, because the reason I am also a marketing professor is that economics and marketing pretty much go hand in hand. So this is going to be, linked to what's going on in the world. And seeing that I teach the classes back to back, I get to bring the energy from the marketing class into the econ class. My goal is not for you to memorize economics. Now, yes, there are some things you will naturally memorize in this course. My goal is for you to start seeing economics. And that's what my note had said, and what I'd hope that if you did read it and you've internalized it, you've been doing for the remaining time of summer. So the rhythm: before you come to class, I need you to prepare. That is critical. You need to come to class ready to work. That's why I sent the first note out 17 days, and now I'm sending this one out a week ahead of class. We learn and apply the concepts together. So this is not a flipped classroom where I'm expecting you to know everything out and come in and explain it back to me. When you come into class, we then practice them together, and I get you to demonstrate what you know and what you understand. Then we build on that the next time. Economics really compounds on itself. There's a lot of debate on whether you should take micro or macro first. I'm in the micro camp, but there are a bunch of PhDs out there who will disagree with me, and it's pretty much a 50-50 battle, which is why at RCBC it is basically you choose whichever one you want. But this semester there's going to be a lot less duplicative nature thanks to some work that we've been doing on the backside. So because it compounds on each other, if you miss one piece, the next piece gets harder. That's the rhythm. All right, so staying current matters. And while you'll learn on the first day that I do have flexible deadlines in some cases, it would behoove you to just stay with the flow, do the deadlines as listed versus cramming at the end. Now, how's this class going to feel? It's not going to feel like 3 hours a week of me talking at you. All right, you're going to work with the people around you. You're going to debate. We're going to draw graphs. You're going to make decisions, and you're probably going to be wrong sometimes, and that's completely fine. I'm wrong sometimes too, and I love when students correct me because it means you are prepared. And that's one of my favorite days, is when they're like, hey, you actually did that wrong. Now, am I doing it on purpose? Well, I like to say that, but yes, we make mistakes too as professors. We are only human. I would much rather you be wrong in the room where we can fix it. And that's why I also focus on presentation skills across all my classes, because I've worked in industry. I want you to mess up here so that when you get there and that you are looking for that job or getting that job opportunity, you are prepared. All right, so math and graphs. Yes, there is math. All right, there's a prerequisite for this course now. Basic understanding of algebra and geometry is helpful. Later, there's some Excel, and I'm going to get you there. We're going to do an Excel boot camp, but this is not a math course, right? You do not need to be a math person, but you can't decide that you just don't want to do graphs. It is a key part of economics. So we will work through them. I've added a lot of new ways to aggressively kind of get you to actually draw them in class, and students have been very receptive to that. But please ask. When something doesn't make sense, ask. We'll go over it. And if you do come to office hours, I promise you'll feel better after you leave. All right, participation, attendance and participation are not the same thing. Sitting in the room gets you only so far, so you are going to need to prepare, ask questions, answer questions, and then work with the people around you and be willing to take a shot at something. I don't really expect perfection, but I do expect engagement. And so that's where I want to kind of go into bringing someone with you. Now, you saw in my note that enrollment was down a little bit. I haven't checked this morning to see what it is, but you are going to be working with the person next to you, whether you know them or not. And so while I do use a seating chart in my class, we use the first few class periods to get to know each other. And then there'll be a day that it'll be open seating. You choose your seat and you lock that in for the rest of the semester. Now, if I need to change something or if I have accommodations, yes, I will make those happen. But think about if someone you know is still building or changing their fall schedule, recruit them. Every student who goes to college is going to need a social science elective, and this is the one that can help you no matter what you are majoring in. And that's why those of you who have completed the survey, which if you have it, you need to, I'm at about a 50-50 in this class. I get 50% business majors, 50% non-business majors. It makes it a really good fit. Economics is for anyone who wants to deal with money in their life, and I would imagine that's 100% of you. More students also makes for a better classroom. I would teach 80 students if I could, but they cap us at 40. I would like us to get closer to the 40 just so we can have a robust conversation and you have more students to choose from when you are working together. So I'm absolutely encouraging you to bring a friend into micro with you. We have 1 week left. And yes, they can join before the ad drop, but missing those first few days is going to be really tough. So have those conversations now. All right, so just kind of close this out. Just a warning to get ahead of this. You cannot disappear for several weeks and then suddenly lock in this class. It builds upon itself. So if you start slipping, address it immediately. Talk to me, talk to your classmates, use the resources. Don't get buried, okay? Trying to get that in your heads very early here. All right, so to close this out, you made the decision to take microeconomics in person. That's awesome. Now the goal is to get the most value possible out of that decision because it's a hard course, but we're going to learn a lot, and you actually will use this for the rest of your life. The only reason I teach this class is because I really credit my early economics classes for me being able to do what I do today. We'll talk about that on the first day. I just, start completing that pre-semester survey. That really helps me. Start looking at economics around you. Come in and ready to kind of ask why. I've spent the summer getting ready for you, and now we actually get to launch it next week. So I'm excited to see you all on day one. Enjoy your remaining days, and I will see you on campus very soon.